Oh, hey. I didn't see you there. It is Monday evening right now, and I'm working on the 32 Ford right now. The chassis is still at Sandblasters. It should be done tomorrow morning, hopefully, or at some point tomorrow. That would be great. So in the meantime, I'm just cleaning the engine up. My friend Shane has been working away throughout the week, stripping paint and stuff. So he's stripped a lot of the paint off of this. I went out to my storage shed where a lot of the parts that came with the 32 Ford, don't know if you remember when we picked it up at Carl's place, the car was full of parts. So amongst those parts was a set of matching water pumps, because this is a Merc pump, and I think this is a truck pump. I think it's the same. Pretty sure that's the same, actually. So I was going to put these pumps on, although I might just put the one on because this pump works, and I'm pretty sure it's the same. I'll double check the casting numbers on it. I'm going to take a gamble that this pump works. It looks fine. I don't see why it wouldn't work. And I mean, to be honest, if it does leak, if I put it on and it does leak, it's not a huge deal to just get another one and put that on. So yeah, we're going to clean the rest of this thing up. Maybe throw some paint on it. I don't have paint right now, so that might be, I don't know if I'll do that tonight, maybe tomorrow night. But yeah. Shannon has come down and joined us. She's going to work on her 302 while I'm working on this. If you guys were watching the last video we put up where she had her little flex plate bell housing issue, that was just a couple days ago. We ordered the correct bell housing, or not bell housing, the correct flex plate, little 50 ounce 141 or 142 tooth one from Art Car that was suggested in the comments. Thanks a bunch for that. So yeah, she's working away on that, and I'm gonna pull this pump off. Let's see how much coolant comes out of this one. Oh God. I hate coolant. Okay. Okay, we're gonna call that good for Monday night. It wasn't a super productive night, but it was still somewhat productive, and it's just this many less things I have to do tomorrow night. That's the trick to building cars. Just do a little bit every day. I have 2 less water pumps I have to take off now. So, when you're done watching this video, you should go out in the garage and work on your car. Hey, it's Wednesday, lunchtime. We just got the call from Scott at Blast It that the frame's ready to pick up, so we're gonna go grab it. All right, it's Friday morning. I didn't film anything yesterday because I didn't really do much other than just sit here and kind of look at it. Sat in this green chair and came up with a plan. So, frame's back from sandblasting. It's actually not too bad. Let me grab the camera here and I'll show you guys what's up with it. So, rear frame horns, as we already knew, they're pretty roached. I was talking to my friend Gary Maxwell last night, and he builds 32 chassis at his Blackboard Hot Rod. So he builds 32 chassis all the time for Model A's, and when you build them for a Model A, you bob the back. So he's got frame horns. He said you can have them. He's just going to mail them out. So hopefully we get those shortly. As far as weird stuff we got to fix, there's a little patch right here that I think we're going to get rid of because it's going to space the frame too far out. I don't know if that matters or not, but I mean, we've gone this far, we might as well. It's had a couple repairs here and there. Those look okay to me. I'm okay with that. Up here, though, it's got something pretty janky going on here. I think the front half of, from here forward, is from a different car, and it's been spliced on. What I haven't figured out is why there's a little step here. At first, I thought maybe this was from like a different year of car, but it all looks 32. And then my friend Matt was here yesterday, and he's like, well, maybe they stretched the wheelbase on it, and if they spliced it with a different frame, like this part is actually from like back here. But I measured from here to here, and it all makes sense with factory diagrams. So I don't know why it's like that, but I do know that we can fix it. Probably just going to make a whole new section from here to here and just replace all that with brand new metal. I think we'll take these bolts out and replace them with carriage bolts just to make it a little bit nicer looking. This is visible. But other than that, other than those couple spots, it's actually a pretty good chassis, I think. I'm happy with it. So yeah, I think we'll start with, we'll tackle these guys first. I think that's going to be step one. So what I'm doing right now is trying to get the correct profile. So I know we're okay here, so I put a magnet across there. And I know we're okay here, so I put a magnet across there. Then our next spot, we want to be up by the cross member here. So I put a magnet across there. Then I just laid, this is just like a 1/8 inch welding rod. I just laid that across there, and that gave us the profile. So I taped that in place to keep it firm and traced it just with a Sharpie here. So now, if we take this off, great magnets. So pull the tape off. Now we can see exactly what needs to go. Basically, we gotta remove this section. So now that we got the profile, I think I can make a template off of this and build a new piece to go in there. Completely eliminate all this and eliminate the mess on the backside. So I kind of have a rough outline made, but before I do that, I think I came up with a different idea. Inside here, I mean, there's not a whole lot holding these pieces in, and this is all in really good shape. So I think before I go and make a new piece, I'm gonna try to get these pieces out, see what it looks like in there. I mean, it might be as simple as just slicing a pie cut in there, lift this up, and then just weld it back together, and maybe put a nice little fish plate right there. Would probably be good enough. Another thought I had is that this might be from like a bigger truck, like a double B, just because it's, look how thick that is. That's like 3/16 compared to the 10 gauge. So that's what gave me the maybe big truck idea. All right, so this piece is out. That took a lot of air hammering, but it came out. I find it really interesting how in like, I guess basically since like, as long as the internet's been around and people have been posting photos and videos of their welds on the internet, how many people are like so quick to call out poor quality welds or welds that don't look great, welds that maybe aren't up to today's standards. But I have to say, man, these crusty old welds, as terrible as they looked, like this thing looked like you could just pop it off with a screwdriver, or at least according to what, you know, people on the internet would say about welds like that. This thing was on there. It was not coming off easy at all. These crusty old welds, as terrible as they looked, you know, they're strong. They're definitely strong. So just something to keep in mind the next time you see a bad weld on the internet and you're all like quick to point it out how terrible it is. Not all welds need to look like a stack of dimes. However, that being said, I'm not saying that you should make your welds look terrible. Do the best you can. Practice, 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 practice. Watch, there's so many good YouTube tutorials on how to weld properly and nicely. So anyways, one piece off, one piece to go. I think this one will be a little bit easier. And this actually, it looks okay in there. I think this plan might work. I think it might be okay. So I got this all kind of cleaned up now, and I think I'm ready to do the pie cut. First, I'm going to cut this because it's kind of ugly in there still. So I'll cut that so that that is free from here. Then on this side, I'm basically going to take a triangle out of here. So from the bottom of edge up to our line is 3/4 of an inch. So I'll probably transfer, like make a straight edge there and then move up 3/4 of an inch and do a pie. I don't want to cut off this bottom or like cut down here and bring that up because I want to kind of maintain this radius. Plus, if my splice or my weld is kind of in the middle of the frame rather than on the edge, on the back side, it'll be much easier to weld it and clean it up. Okay, let's just move that up with the C-clamp here. And I think I got a little out of whack with my marks. The gap's a little bit bigger than I wanted, but it's okay, we can fill that. We can fill her with Miller. It'll ensure great penetration because we can weld on both sides. I'm gonna get rid of this little nub right here, and then I can totally smooth that right out, like make sure it's totally flush before I start welding that back up. So I got that hump out of there now, and I just took a piece of angle iron and clamped it to the bottom here to get that on the same plane. So now I'm gonna start welding this, stitching this back up. Like I said, the gap's a little bit thicker than I originally wanted, but it is what it is. We can fix it. All right, that welded up pretty good. It's a little ugly right now because I was more concerned about filling it than I was about making it look pretty. Then I went ahead on the back side and just gave it another little pass just to fill in any of the
the gap that didn't get filled before. So now we're gonna grind it up, smooth it out, and do some touch-ups if needed.
So to sand this down, I'm just using, I got this like little kind of a low speed Makita sander. And I've got some 40 grit discs on here. I'm going with the big disc as opposed to like this little guy here, because I want to completely blend this out and make it look totally smooth, like nothing ever happened. Because this is all going to be visible on the car when the car's painted. So we need this to be as nice as possible. So let me find some glasses here. We're going to focus on the weld, but keeping this as flat as possible. Like so. Hey, that worked out really nice. Got a couple little touch-ups to do. I still got a little bit of a low spot right there and a low spot right there. But when we do welding, like more welding, like when we do the other side, we can just come and touch these couple spots up and blend them out nice. Work nice on the bottom. It's not totally metal finished on the bottom. I might spend a little bit more time on that. So now we can go to the inside. And we'll start cleaning it up a little bit.
Just finished grinding this area up. I didn't get too carried away. It doesn't have to be perfectly metal finish back here, because we're gonna make a fish plate that goes in here now. So we'll go draw one of those up on the Fusion 360 and cut it out. That fits in there really nice. So I'm gonna weld this in now. I'm just gonna MIG weld it, mainly because it's very awkward to get the TIG welder in here, and the MIG weld it'll be just fine. So I'll weld all the way around, and then I'll weld up these 3 holes here. And this essentially will act the same as a boxing plate. It's basically just doubling the thickness up on the side, that's where all the strength is this way. The sides, these pieces up here, that's more for just this way, not as crucial as this way. So weld that in, and then we'll start on the other side.
See you, John. John stopped by to inspect the fish plate. What do you think? Does the fish plate pass?
It passes.
It's okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I hope you enjoyed your ice cream.
It was a great ice cream. Thank you. Okay, on the other side here, I've got the old pieces taken out, and it's ready to do some grinding on here and clean that up, and then do a pie cut out of there. Unfortunately, though, we've kind of run out of time for today. It's like almost 6 o'clock Saturday evening, and I'm starving, and people are all like, hey, let's go get dinner and stuff. So probably going to pause on this project here. But before I go, one thing I want to point out, my friend Christian, Headlines Pinstriping. Go check him out on YouTube. He just started a YouTube page. He does pinstriping and sign painting and artwork and music as well. The song that was just playing in the background, you probably couldn't hear it very well, but that's his band. All the videos that he puts up, it's all his own music in there. So go check out Headlines Pinstriping. Right there. That's Christian. He's cool. So yeah, also check out my website, lgspeedcustom.com. If you want to support this channel, we got hot rod shirts there. We've got stickers, all that kind of stuff. Hot rod parts that we make. All the music in this video was done by local Victoria surf band, the Cavaleros. Go check them out at thecavaleros.com. And thanks for watching. Didn't get as much done this weekend as I wanted to, but had some things pop up. Had some people stop by. But still some progress nonetheless. And we'll continue on this next week. Thanks again for watching. Really appreciate it.